Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Straight Talk Uncut. And today is Tuesday. Tuesday is Tuesday tea time, and I'm drinking some tea and honey as I get ready to go and record second half of an audiobook that I'm working on. Here's the honey. It's just members mark. And before I started VO, or actually as I was starting, when I was practicing, I was having a lot of problems with mouth noise, and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of. And one of the tips that I always hear some of the gurus, the veteran voiceover artists, they talk about tea and honey, or just warm water and honey, or an apple and things like that. And I already drink tea, so I was like, okay, that's easy. I drink tea before, and then I have like warm water that my wife got me for Christmas. I didn't even know there was such thing, because it's like double walled. I don't know if you can see that. It's like so I can put the hot water in there and instantly pick it up without any problems. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about today was, normally I try to watch one or two full TED videos a week, and I try to listen to the TED podcast just randomly during the week. And so I was watching this TED talk by Dr. Ivan Joseph, and I think I didn't know him before watching this TED talk, and I think he's a soccer coach, or ex-soccer coach at Ryerson College. You guys can look it up. I'll put a link below to the actual TED talk. So he was talking about, his whole talk was about self-confidence as a skill that can be taught. And that's what caught my attention, because I was just going through the TED list and just seeing something that'll jump out at me, because I've actually seen a lot of the most popular ones, or a lot of the top ones I've seen. So I was just trying to, find one that would just give me a little positivity for the day. And I came across that one. So he was talking about self-confidence as a skill. And you know how you see something that goes against what you think or what you believe, and automatically you just go on the defensive, but you want to see it or listen to it anyway, just to be able to rebut it, right? That's kind of how I felt, because I've always believed anything with self in it, self-esteem, self-confidence, has to come within. And that's how I've always felt until recently. And when I say recently, like within the last 5 years, I've always thought there was no reason for a therapist, like a psychiatrist or anything. I'm like, what can how is me talking to somebody, a stranger? It's one thing talking to a friend, getting stuff out, talking to a friend or family member about things and solving problems like that. But I've never felt that talking to a stranger in the capacity of, this person has no interest in me other than I'm a client. And that's the way I felt. Like, no interest in me other than I'm a patient, to help me with anything that's not physical. You know what I mean? It's one thing if it's a doctor, because you can see. If you go in the doctor with a broken arm, they either can fix the broken arm or can't. It's something that's definitive. Like, I've never thought that if you have self-esteem issues, or if you have self-confidence issues, who can give you that? Nobody can give you that. Like, how can you learn that? It has to be something that you want to get over yourself, or that you want to alleviate. And unfortunately, you only come to this realization. Like, you're not thinking about this as a kid. You don't think about stuff like that as a kid. It's just when you get older, you start realizing there's a thing called self-confidence. There's a thing called self-esteem. It wasn't something that you can learn. It was either you had it, or you didn't, or you had it or you didn't have it, and then later you pick it up through observation or through something else. I didn't think it was something that you can learn until I had kids myself. And actually it wasn't like right when I had kids. It was later when I started realizing, hey, there's a way you can talk to kids and a way you can discipline kids that will build their self-confidence and self-esteem. And that's when you start learning these things, because there's no manual. Maybe there is now. Maybe there's a manual for being a parent. But, and again, I didn't think you need one of those. Either you're a good parent or you're not. Where's the manual? When they probably should be one though. But so what he was talking about is the way he coaches his kids, and how to develop. When I say kids, his students, or his the kids he coach, the students he coach. He was talking about how self-confidence can come through repetition. And it's not a lack of self-confidence. It's a lack of not knowing how to do something. And I agree with that. I agree with, there are things that if you don't think you can do them, or at least if you don't think you can do them at a high level, you won't have the confidence to attempt to do them. And so I'm conflicted with that, because I don't know if there's self-confidence or not. To me, self-confidence is like you don't think you can do anything. It's like you don't want to try because you just automatically think you're a failure. You don't think you can do anything. What he went on to say in his TED Talk was, he was giving examples of how repetition can help you build self-confidence. Like if you lack the self-confidence to do something, the skill set you need is to be able to stay persistent and practice that thing. Like whatever it is. It can be public speaking. It can be whatever. It can be doing YouTube videos. It can be doing a podcast. It can be drawing. It can be whatever. And I agree with that to a point, but I don't think that's self-confidence. And the reason why I'm drawn to this is I have 3 daughters, and I want them to have high self-esteem and to be confident that they can do anything anybody else can do. And so that brings me to my last point about self-confidence. And I think what we tend to forget about, and where the pressure comes from, is self-confidence has to also be the ability to be okay with not being able to do something at a level that you imagine. If that makes sense. Like you have to be, don't let it, like you not being able to do something, or you not having the skill to do something, don't let it stop you from learning that skill. I was looking at my dogs out there. So don't let it stop you from trying something because you don't think you're going to be tops at it. Because you're not going to be the best at it. One of my dogs just straight up peed on the other one. Oh my God. So now that's the thing I want my daughters to pick up. I want them to have the self-confidence to be able to try something, give it a try, and if it's not what they wanted to do, based on the fact that it's not what they wanted to do, or it did give them the feeling they wanted, it's okay. It's okay to leave it alone, just as long as you try it. That's the big thing in my household. Me and my wife, we both agree on it. The final point I do want to make is I think self-confidence is something, or a character of self-confidence is being able to tap out of something. If it's just being able to have the courage to let it go, to fail that thing and learn from it. People always say there's no such thing as failure. Well, that's stuff I failed at, but I've also learned from it. But doesn't mean I succeeded. If you're not succeeding in something, you're failing at it. even if you learn from it, you fail. Even if it's something you didn't succeed in it, you don't want to call it a failure, and you learn from it. Well, you can call it a failure and still learn from it. So, all right. So I'm gonna finish my tea, and I got about 10 audiobook auditions, and I have a half. If I can get through it in time, I have half of another audiobook to finish the actual recording part. Then I got to edit, depending on how long that take. Tell us at straighttalkuncut.com. That's where you can send me questions. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to put that into everyone because I told you guys I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers so I can use that community, whatever it's called, community feed thing. Go over to Good Fun Shirts, buy a shirt. I looked at it this morning and I need to get on there because I only have 40 something listings active out of like 800 or something products. And it's because most of the stuff on there is like summer stuff. So anyway, I gotta get on that. But still, go over there and like something so you can or subscribe to the shop so you can know when I update stuff. I'm going to be working on some new stuff for the channel. I just reinstalled a new version of DaVinci Resolve, which is what I'm going to be switching to edit my videos. I've been using Move AVI. That's what I was using because it's just simple. But now I want to create templates so I can have a consistency. In DaVinci is what I was using in real estate to do that. So anyway, like I always say, I don't know a lot, but what I do know, I talk straight about. This has been Straight Talk Uncut. Thank you guys for listening. Talk to you in the next episode. Or thank you guys for watching. Talk to you in the next episode.